Speaking with David Spencer, Spencer Labs, and you, sir, should be congratulated. You just won a must-see-em.
Hey, thank you so much. We're very proud of that.
You ought to be. And it's your metric system.
Yes, SpencerMetrics. It's a system that's measuring productivity on a press. We're able to measure any press by capturing information from the floor. We can come up with lots of information about the press. Starting off, the history of it's actually pretty, I think, interesting. We've been around 25 years, and we normally do work for the manufacturers. And one of the things we did was come up with a methodology for measuring productivity of a press.
Very interesting. Now, you brought some display, actually, a little show and tell, folks. And let's raise this up and talk about this a little bit.
Sure.
This is your testing process. When you go into a press now, this is the result that you get back out?
Yes, it is. This is a result, and this is showing actually comparisons between, in this case, two different times on the same press, before and after. On the before, which is on top, we measured a press and found out that there were some areas that too much time was being spent. And by talking with the manufacturer and having the press operator, and having the press operator and management figure out what was happening, they were able to do some retraining. And as a result, they got more than the 5% improvement on productivity, and that's down on the lower screen. So there's actually the comparison of the same press in two different times.
In, let's say, some recent testing processes, what's impressed you the most?
Well, the productivity issue that's interesting to me is that if I ask somebody what their productivity is, very often I'll get an answer of, oh, it's like 90% or 100% or it's plenty. Whereas what we're seeing is a lot of these productivity numbers
This is the
are
reality
more
of it all.
Right, because what we're measuring is not that the press is up. We're measuring sellable output. So I'm particular in terms of saying this is where you can actually make money from the press. And all the other things you have to do while the press is up and running, you're not making money on it.
All right, so it's basically affecting your bottom line if the press is up and running, but not producing what it was intended to do.
Right. So if I got a press that's producing $1 million worth of business a year, and I can get 1% extra on it, maybe 2% extra, I'm getting hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional value out of that same press, same staff, no additional cost.
Very interesting concept for you as a company.
Well, we like it. We think it's valuable, and we're trying to get the word out on it.
Well, this industry is just going crazy, isn't it? With all of the changes and everything happening with it in the last few years?
There's been lots of wonderful consolidations happening, companies that are bringing together different pieces so that they can have a larger range of product that they can be offering. As a consultancy, in one sense, we're losing customers because they just keep combining and becoming one customer, but that's great. Because now we have customers that really cover a major range. For us to be dealing directly with print shop owners, that's another market for us. It's a new one, it's a different one. And it's not that we're giving up any of the other parts of our business.
Well, you as a businessman and as an entrepreneur, what do you see happening in the graphics industry in the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
Well, the big thing that's been happening in the industry is technology is allowing things like print quality, which is where we started, to get higher and higher, so that you get print quality getting above what I think of as above the bar for a particular application. And more of the devices out there are able to service more applications, so that there's this production part of the press world is really growing nicely in spite of the fact that the overall printing industry has some downs. We do work in the consumer space, we do work in the photographic space, graphic arts, and there's some interesting things happening in those spaces as well. We see lots of activities in third-party sonars and third-party inkjet, and we've been doing reliability testing. And the results of the reliability testing is buyer beware. You really need to be careful. There's a lot of stuff out there and a lot of stuff that's problematic.
Well, if you're in the print shop business and you own some machinery and you're wondering about how productive this is, you ought to contact Sterling Labs, Spencer Labs, Mr. Spencer, and discuss this. I think this is a very neat product, and the fact that you can come up with this kind of a metric to measure this productivity is interesting. Really does.
I'll just add that this is completely a cloud-based system. It's all of the modern things that you can do today. It runs input on an iPad, output on any computer, and analysis on demand. So the latest information you have, you can get analyzed just by asking for it, and it's a matter of only seconds until it's analyzed and back in your hands.
Isn't that amazing? Appreciate you taking the time,
Thank
stopping
you.
by, saying hello, and talking to us here on myprintresource.com.
I enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.